Alright, you guys, so now we're going to talk about Austin Powers, The Spy Who Fucked Me. Sorry, The Spy Who Shagged Me. That's right, it's the sequel to Austin Powers International Man of Mystery. It came out in 1999, and it's once again starring Mike Myers and a lot of other people from the first one. But Elizabeth Hurley is not in this movie. Okay, she's in the movie very briefly, but she's not the main love interest for Austin Powers in this movie, no. In this movie, the main love interest is Felicity Shagwell, who's played by Heather Graham. And basically, the overall plot of this one is in the present day, Austin Powers is having a good time of his life. He's pretty much well aware of how to live in the '90s now at this point, and um, back in 1969, which was 30 years ago, while Austin Powers and Doctor Evil were still frozen, we have somebody named Fat Bastard who steals Austin Powers' mojo and so now Austin Powers has to travel back to 1969 to stop Doctor Evil, get his mojo back, and again, like I said, stop Doctor Evil. But this time, he's planning to go to a moon base, and he's going to do some stuff in space. It's not very good. So what do I think of Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me? I like this movie very, very much. You know how much I like the first one if you watch my review. If you didn't, watch my review. But yeah, this one I like better than the first one. I love the first one, but I like this one better. And I don't know what it was about it, because maybe it was the introduction of a couple new characters, which I'll talk about in a minute here. Maybe it's because I like Heather Graham more than Elizabeth Hurley. Maybe it's because I just like the whole premise and the whole setting of the movie. Maybe I think that's all better. I don't really know what it is. Maybe it's a combination of all of it. But let's talk about. I already talked about Austin Powers and Doctor Evil in this movie, so let's talk about a couple of the new characters that come in. We have Mini-Me, who's played by Vern Troyer, and he is a clone of Doctor Evil, except he's 1/8 his size. And he's played by, like I said, he's played by Vern Troyer, who is pretty much known as Mini-Me. Like, every time you see him, everybody goes, "Hey, it's Mini-Me." So yeah, that's how much, this guy has really embodied this role. And the funny thing is, he doesn't really say anything. All he says is, "ee, ee, ee." That's all he says the whole movie. He didn't talk. And then we have Fat Bastard, like I mentioned before. He's a guy who's working for Dr. Evil. He's very bad, but he's hilarious. And he's also played by Mike Myers. So now in the second movie, Austin Powers. Mike Myers plays three people. Austin Powers, Dr. Evil, and Fat Bastard. Now, let's talk about Fat Bastard. He is so quotable also, along with Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. You can't talk about Austin Powers without bringing up Fat Bastard and Mini-Me. You just can't do it. And a lot of people don't even remember that Mini-Me or Fat Bastard wasn't even in the first movie. They didn't come in until the second one. So yeah, like, I'm gonna attempt to do a Fat Bastard impression. All right. So if it sucks, blame me. It's my fault. First things first. Where's your shitter? I got a turtle head poking out. Wait a minute. It kinda looks like a baby. Come here, I'm gonna eat you. I'm bigger than you. I'm higher in the food chain. Get in my belly. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back ribs. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back ribs. Chili's baby back ribs. Yeah, he's fascinated with Mini-Me. But he's not like fascinated to where he wants to keep them. He's fascinated with eating babies, and that's why he says he kind of looks like a baby. He wants to eat Mini-Me. And of course, we have Seth Green back as Scott Evil. And I thought Scott Evil is better in this movie than he is in the first movie. Like, I like him in the first movie, I do, but he's improved. Like, the character, he's improved. Well, he's established now. We know who he is. We know what kind of guy he is. We know he's much smarter than Dr. Evil. We know that he's not too big of a fan of Dr. Evil, his father. But in this movie, I think he really shines, especially his dynamic with not only Dr. Evil, but he has a new dynamic with Mini-Me. And it's definitely a sibling rivalry type of thing because Dr. Evil clearly favors Mini-Me over his own son, Scott Evil. So, there's tension there, but it's so fucking hilarious. There's tension between Fat Bastard Let's talk about Austin Powers and Felicity Shagwell. Their relationship, I think, is much better than his relationship with Vanessa in the first movie. I know, but I do. There's just something about it. They work well together. They fit perfectly together. I can actually buy into this couple because she understands. She's like, okay, I know you're not the same person that you were in the actual 60s, but you're back in the 60s. I know who you are and all kind of, and I'm into you. And Vanessa in the first movie, for most of the movie, she was just kind of like, look, it's not the 60s anymore. Grow the fuck up. This is how it is in the 90s. Deal with it. So yeah, I always thought Felicity was a better match for Austin Powers anyway, and their relationship together really works well in this movie in particular. His underground lair in the first one was pretty damn cool, but there's nothing better than his moon base. All I asked for was a frickin' rotating chair here. Okay, I need an old priest and a young priest. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. Whoa, hello. Sick as a dog now. Okay. Gonna vomit. And then, of course, there's this whole segment where Scott Evil and Dr. Evil are on the Jerry Springer Show, and that's one of the best parts of the movie by far. There's this part where Felicity has to sleep with Fat Bastard by any means necessary. That part's hilarious. This one has more memorable parts that stick with you, unless you're crazy like me and watch these movies on the VHS repeats all the time, or even DVD repeats. So, yeah, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. I love this one so much. I really do. I like it better than the first one, as I said. It is my favorite one of the Austin Powers trilogy. I just thought so much was better about it. Number 2, let's talk about that. Number 2, we also have the guy who played him in the first one as the current number 2. But then when they go back into the 60s, we have Rob Lowe playing a younger number 2. And I thought Rob Lowe, which I'm not the biggest fan of Rob Lowe. I'm just not. Like, I like him in a few things. But I think he plays the perfect young number 2. I really do. I think he's great in this movie. Frau Frabissina, yeah, she's awesome. Mustafa. Let's talk about Will Ferrell, because Will Ferrell is back in this movie. Yes, he died in the first movie, spoiler alert, but he goes back in time, so it's the 60s. So we have 60s Mustafa, and it's fucking hilarious. It's even better than his appearance in the first movie. He's got this whole thing where he's like, I can't stand to be asked the same question 3 times. It just irritates me. Where's Dr. Evil hiding? I spit at the question. Where is Dr. Evil hiding? You have to kill me, I'll never tell you. Where is Dr. Evil hiding? I will take her to the grave with me. That's not the exact line. Fuck. That's definitely not the exact line. Oh my god, there's no F-bombs in this movie. He's hiding in the secret volcano lair. Where is Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair? I spit at that question. Do I really have to ask you 2 more times? Fine. Where is Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair? I will take her to the grave with me. Aha, you have to answer. He asked it 3 times. No. The second question was, do I really have to ask you 2 more times? So that would be the first question in a new line of questioning, and wouldn't count in the other line of questioning. Yeah, he's right. But listen, I'm just trying to get information from you, man. I don't need inconsistency in the questions, do I? No. You're preaching to the converted. Well, if I'm preaching to the converted, there's this whole thing back and forth, and then when he falls and dies again in the 60s, it's like, I tried to get up, but I think my leg might be broken. Yep, it is broken. Does anybody have a Band-Aid or some antibacterial cream? It's fucking hilarious. Will Ferrell is funnier in this movie as he was in the first movie, and I laughed my ass off at those scenes. So I think that's enough quoting. I think that's enough reviewing for this one. Obviously, I love Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Better than the first one, but I really do like the first one a lot. I gave the first one an A-. I'm going to give Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. I'm going to give it a solid A. Yeah, it's, for me, I think this one's superior. It's one of the superior sequels. I absolutely love this one. And what do you guys think of Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me? Comment your thoughts on the video down below in the comment section. Like the video, share, and subscribe. Just do it! Sound like Craig Ferguson.